This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Man who killed buried girlfriend in moment of passion gets life. A 25-year-old man who stabbed his girlfriend to death in 2017 and buried her in concrete in their bedroom in what he claimed was a moment of passion was Wednesday sentenced to life in prison. He had confessed to the murder. Ayel Russell of Pee Wee Lane in St. James, who had fled to the United States after committing the gruesome act, will serve 24 years in prison before being eligible for parole. The sentence was handed down by Justice Courtney Day in the Westmoreland Home Circuit Court. The decomposing body of the victim, 24-year-old Nadian Dyer, was found with multiple stab wounds in her Negril Westmoreland house on June 7, 2017, 2 months after she and her 3-year-old daughter went missing. The child has never been found. Before the sentence was passed, Russell apologized to Dyer's family while professing his love for the young woman. "It was only a moment of passion. Every day I searching for Nadian. Me love Nadia, miss her, think about her every day. It was a moment of passion. I'm sorry about that. I am sorry," he said. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions issued a statement Wednesday outlining the facts of the case. Dyer, who was involved in an intimate relationship with Russell, moved to his one-bedroom Westmoreland house in 2016 with her daughter. On April 17, 2017, the couple was overheard quarreling. The following day, a strong disinfectant odor was noticed emanating from the couple's bedroom. Dyer was never seen alive after that quarrel. However, Russell was seen on April 23, leaving the premises with a knapsack, and later informed a relative that he was in New York. Dyer's mother, who was concerned about her whereabouts, visited the police station on numerous occasions, and on June 5 went to her home with the assistance of the police. But on their arrival, they observed that the door was padlocked with a long chain with weights. Police officers who managed to unlock the door went inside and saw construction buckets on the floor, as well as a section of the room where cement had been mixed. A blood-stained mattress was also observed leaning on the wall, and when it was moved, officers found a rectangular-shaped structure made of 6 inches of block and cement. The officers left, and 2 days later, when they returned, broke down the structure and removed a naked body which was wrapped in a plastic bag. The body at the time was unable to be identified owing to the advanced state of decomposition, but had stab wounds to the abdomen and right arm. Following a post-mortem, the body was confirmed to be Dyer's. Russell by then was in the U.S., but he was later deported on July 29, 2021, after he was convicted and sentenced for armed robbery. He was subsequently charged for Dyer's murder. DPP Paul Llewellyn indicated that there was no evidence on the file implicating the man in the possible disappearance of the child. There was only a statement from a third recounting what the deceased mother of the child allegedly told her. The woman had reportedly indicated that she handed over her daughter to a relative at a bus park. The third party is reportedly a female relative of the convicted murderer who had made inquiries of the child she said she last saw in December 2016 and heard in January 2017. There was no other material on the file linking the accused, Llewellyn said. The DPP said her office asked the police whether there was any investigation about the child. The police indicated there was none, as an official missing report was not filed by the mother of the child before she died, the DPP said. St. James, a man accused of lottery scamming, extradited to U.S. A Jamaican man accused of fleecing elderly United States citizens in a lottery scam has been extradited. The U.S. Department of Justice says 40-year-old Damone Oakley of Point District in St. James made his initial appearance in federal court in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Oakley is charged on a 16-count indictment with mail and wire fraud. The indictment was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania in June 2021 and was unsealed after his extradition. According to the indictment, Oakley sought to unlawfully enrich himself through a fraudulent sweepstakes scheme targeting the elderly. It is alleged that victims throughout the U.S. received mail, text messages, or phone calls in which they were falsely told that they had won millions of dollars and luxurious vehicles in sweepstakes, but first they needed to pay taxes and fees in order to claim their winnings. The indictment further alleges that Oakley, using a variety of names including Officer Alex Logan and Officer Stan Valentine, instructed his victims on how to send their money and to whom the funds should be sent, including through the use of wire fraud, direct bank deposits, the U.S. Postal Service, and the private commercial mail carriers. Victims were allegedly directed to send the money directly to Oakley, as well as to individuals in the U.S. and elsewhere who served as intermediaries and transmitted the money to the Jamaican. In addition to sending cash or wire transfers, the indictment alleges that victims were directed to purchase electronics, jewelry, and clothing, and to then have the purchased items shipped to mail forwarding services in Florida. The victims never received any winnings. Taxi journey turns deadly for driver and male passenger. Family members and close friends of 63-year-old taxi operator Lloyd Clark were left mourning on Wednesday morning after gunmen sprayed the vehicle with bullets on Hillary Avenue, St. Andrew. The early morning attack left Clark and a passenger identified as Rohan Tulloch dead. A woman and her child, also passengers, were injured in the attack and remained in hospital. According to onlookers, Tulloch, who was allegedly marked for death, boarded Clark's cab and was trailed by gunmen who pumped multiple bullets in the vehicle. When the news visited the scene on Wednesday, blood running down the side of the taxi, plus bullet holes in the windshield and inside the car, were telltale signs of the disaster which unfolded earlier. A friend of the family, who has made herself a source of solace for the wife of the slain taxi driver, who plies the Red Hills Road route, told the news that a now widow who lives overseas is taking the situation extremely hard. Efforts were made to contact the wife for comment, however she declined to be interviewed due to her state of trauma. The family friend who shared she too was emotionally broken by the murder of the taximan lamented that the situation is extremely shocking, as Clark was cautious on a daily basis while he ran his route. She said it would be far less traumatizing if he had lost a battle with illness. For someone who was law-abiding, at no point did he deserve to be brutally murdered, the family friend said. It is a hard pill to swallow. It is not like him sick. He is not even somebody who stays out on the road late at night because he knows how the streets operate. Aaron Fletcher, Senior Superintendent of Police in charge of the St. Andrew North Division, where the incident took place, said the mother and the daughter injured in the incident remained in stable condition in hospital. According to the senior policeman, one of the deceased is believed to be from the violence-prone community of Park Lane, located off Red Hills Road. The information we have is that the passengers traveling in a taxi on Hillary Avenue were pounced upon by persons traveling in a motor vehicle or vehicles. The details are unknown at this time, but at a later time we will be able to give greater details as it relates to the circumstances, Fletcher said. One man told the news that his sleep was just beginning to get sweet when he was frighteningly disturbed by explosions. It happened just minutes before 8 a.m. The gunshots woke me up. I heard around 3 first and then 6 more after that. Well, rapid. When I reach out here, this road that normally has a lot of traffic was cleared. Edgerton Newman, president of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, extended condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Clark and called on the government to bring back the death penalty. This type of assassination on a public transport sector operator cannot be allowed to continue, and although it is a reflection of what is taking place in the wider society, there must be a way to bring it under control. Over the past 7 days, 6 taxi operators have been killed across the island, making it a total of 31 since the start of the year. Todd is urging public transport operators to be very cautious as you travel and with the passengers you engage. NCB employee arrested at bank in multi-million-dollar fraud. Police on Wednesday arrested a National Commercial Bank employee in connection with a multi-million-dollar fraud at the bank. The employee was arrested at the bank by police detectives and will be interviewed by investigators today. The exact amount of money defrauded could not be ascertained, but it is understood that it has run into millions. Several sources have confirmed the arrest but have declined to give any information. It is alleged that the employee transferred money from several accounts at the bank to other accounts over which he had control and would withdraw money from those accounts. The bank reportedly discovered the fraud and called in the police. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.